Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Garvey Park in Dorchester, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity baseball contest between the hosting Dragons of Boston Latin Academy and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. This is a momentous moment for the Brookline High Warriors. They come into this game with a 9-2 record. Now, of course, those who are familiar with the MIAA's playoff structure, you will know that the way it works is that the top 32 teams in the power rankings qualify for the playoffs, but then even if you fall outside of the top 32, you can still qualify for the playoffs if you have a 500 or better record. The first power rankings of the season were released earlier this morning, I believe. Brookline came in 20th in the power rankings in Division I, which would put them in the driver's seat for the playoffs, but more importantly, they come into this game with a 9-2 record. If they win today, they will secure their 10th win in what is at maximum a 20-game regular season, which would mean they would guarantee at least a 500 record for the season, which would mean they would automatically qualify for the state tournament. So that's going to be a big one. Brookline riding high off a big 5-0 win on Wednesday against their local rival Newton North. And that was quite the special day. Senior pitcher Nico Hart completed the no-no, holding Newton North runless and hitless for all 7 innings for the complete game no-hitter. And then fellow senior and co-captain Charlie Engelman provided some fireworks with a 2-run home run over the left field fence. This is my 4th year covering the team. That's the first time I've seen either a 7-inning no-hitter or a home run from this team. So this year absolutely feels different. The record reflects it. And Brookline trying to make a playoff qualification here. A bright sunny day out here in Dorchester, which means it's going to be a little tough for me to see my own screen. You know, that's just the way it be. So that might slow me down on a few things. But I'm still going to do my best as I always do. Pardon me, I'm just filling in the lineups for both teams right now. Now, one thing that's going to be a nice treat today is I am actually going to have a partner on the broadcast here today. For those of you who followed my winter broadcasts, you might be familiar with Brookline 8th grader Sam Lowenstein, who joined me as a guest student commentator on a couple of hockey games and a basketball game this past winter. And he's going to join me today. He's gotten caught in traffic coming out here. Traffic was really bad coming out here to Dorchester from Brookline. I mean, it is a Friday, so Traffic's going to be what it will be. But I expect him to join us at some point. You know, it might be a few plays into the game, but should still be a fun time. In the meantime, as Brookline finishes their pregame warm-ups, I'm going to play the intro video from Garvey Park in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Baseball. Diving catch is made by Harrison Siegel. And Engelman lifts one high and deep to left. Levine going back. It's over the wall! Hits it! He wins it! Hugh Bollinger! Welcome to the Warriors! Brookline wins! Okay. We are soon going to be getting this one underway here in the top of the first. In the meantime, I'm just typing in, like I said, the lineups. All right, Boston Latin Academy taking the field for this, the top of the first inning. So let's quickly read out the Brookline batting order. Leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Batting second, the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. Batting third, the right fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. Batting cleanup, the shortstop, number 13, Felix Hom. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 22, Charlie Engelman. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt. Batting ninth, the first baseman, number 7, James Dialchand Erickson. And starting on the mound, not in the batting order today, but starting on the mound for Brookline, number 15, Owen Hoffman. So those are the batters who we will see coming up here against the Boston Latin pitcher, number 10, Jack Shapiro. And a reminder, if there are any Boston Latin fans tuning in for this one and I am messing up the pronunciation of any names, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. right, we're soon going to be getting this one started as pregame warm-ups have finished. Here we go, first pitch of the game. In there, strike one. Leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. You can see his season stats there at the bottom of your screen. Sawada fouls that one off on the third base side, strike 2. What on? That was weird. 0-2 the count to Sawada. That one's going to miss, ball 1. Wi-Fi connection seems strong so far, but if we end up having any troubles, remember I am recording this while streaming it, so we'll have a full version either way. That one's low for ball 2. Sawada coming into this game with a slash line of 242 batting average, 419 on base percentage, and 242 slugging percentage, 2 steals, 6 runs scored, and 3 RBI. Fouls that one off and stays alive at 2-2. And again, a defensive swing there by Sawada. He stays alive at a 2-2 count. Another defensive swing from Sawada, and he gets a piece of it. You can see Sawada giving these delayed, half-hearted swings, just fouling it off, just staying alive, waiting for his pitch. And this one he lifts out to left field. Left fielder charging in. It's going to drop in front of him, and it's going to take a weird hop away from him. And Sawada is taking advantage and racing down to second. You can't give a speedster like Keenan Sawada that kind of an opening. I'm not sure what happened there. If they're going to call that a single and a war, if they're going to call that a double, they're probably, I imagine, going to call that a leadoff double for Keenan Sawada. If that is the case, that will be his first extra base hit of the year, and it puts him in prime position to start here in the top of the first. Now batting the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. Siegel leading the team in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, base hits, hit by pitches, steals, and is tied for the team lead in runs scored. He's having an electric season so far. Swing and a miss there. Strike 2. 0-2 the count to Siegel. Sawada stands at second. Nobody out here in the top of the first. Swing and a miss there. And Siegel goes down on 3 strikes. So 1 down, still a runner at second. Now batting the right fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel, as he's going to take ball 1. That one might have been just inside. Brendel's also been a pretty electric hitter for Brookline today, although his batting average has taken a bit of a dip the past couple of games. Sawada looked for a second like he was taking off, but not sure if he stumbled a bit or if he was just trying to fake. As he ends up going back, that ends up being a high ball to Brendel. That one hits the zone, strike one. Count is 2-1. And a lazy throw back to second to check on Sawada, keep him honest. Shapiro might have been expecting one of his middle infielders to be on second, and then when he saw they weren't, just decided to kind of just lob it back there. That's going to be a high ball, 3. Brendel's been a strong on-base guy so far. On-base percentage of .488 coming in off a high number of walks. And he takes ball 4 there. So another runner on base, but now a force at every base except home. Following that one, now batting the shortstop, number 13, Felix Hom. First pitch in there, strike one. Hom's been in a bit of a slump recently as his batting average has dropped below 200, but in past games he has been quite the timely hitter, among the team leaders in RBI with 8 so far. As they throw back to first, check on Brendel, he dives back. The pitch itself was inside, ball 1. Turnaround throw back to second, and Sawada dives back. Shapiro keeping it. That one curves in, strike 2. That one gonna miss. Slow and away, ball 2. 2-2, the count to Hom. That one's gonna miss, low, ball 3. Full count, 1 out, runners at first and second. Fouls that one off, stays alive. Swing and a miss, chase the high heat, strike 3. Another big strikeout for Jack Shapiro. Now stepping to the plate, the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. That first pitch is going to miss high for ball 1. Melton, the team leader in RBI so far this season, up with 2 outs and 2 men on, and he fouls that one off for strike 1. That one inside, almost hit him, ball 2. Melton, also the team leader in walks, although Brendel might have caught him with the free pass he earned this inning. Melton with 12 walks so far this season. As that's going to be a high ball 3. Three and 1, the count. And that just catches the high corner, strike 2. So a full count with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Avery Melton trying to keep the rally going. Shapiro trying to escape the early jam. Runners taking off, and that one is a high ball 4. And Melton loads the bases with a walk. Now batting the man who had the big swing on Wednesday, the third baseman, number 22, Charlie Engelman. Courtesy runner comes in for the catcher, Melton. That's number 8, Ben Doctoroff. And we'll see if Engelman has another big shot in him here with the bases juiced and 2 out here in the top of the first. First pitch hits the zone, strike 1. Big swing and a miss there, strike 2. Engelman's back up against the wall with an 0-2 count and 2 down here in the top of the first. And that one curves in, strike 3. Jack Shapiro survives the bases loaded jam to start the day. And that is how the top of the first will end. We are scoreless heading to the bottom of the first. And as we move to the bottom of the first, I am happy to welcome my partner here today. One of my headsets is experiencing a little bit of a technical difficulty, so we're going to play the Pass the Mic game here today. So joining me here is my guest color commentator, Brookline 8th grader Sam Lowenstein. Sam, thanks for joining us. I understand you hit a little bit of traffic on the way out here.
The traffic was pretty crazy. We're able to make it out here at Brookline, going down the top of the first, being able to load up the bases, though, and just barely missing an opportunity.
Indeed, a tough inning to come away with no score for the Warriors. As now we will take a look at the stats for our starting pitcher here today. Just give me a second as I... There we go. Owen Hoffman, number 15, the starting pitcher for Brookline. Among the team leaders in a number of categories. Actually, not the team leader in innings anymore. I forgot to adjust that. But he does have 4 previous pitching appearances, 3 starts. Comes into this with a 2-1 pitching record. 15.2 innings pitched so far this season, a 2.68 ERA, a 1.40 whip, and 15 strikeouts. And... Sam, I'll give you a little history lesson here. This is going to be a very fun, I think, pitching performance to watch because 2 years ago was the last time Brookline played out here at Garvey, and in that game, Jack Martell, who has since graduated, got 12 strikeouts here at Garvey Park. So, and coming off of Wednesday's no-hitter from Nico Hart, Brookline's got a lot of reason to be excited for the pitching performance today.
Yeah, it looks like the future is bright here. Even with Martell graduating, I think the future is bright. They'll get a bunch of strikeouts today. I can just feel it coming here in the same stadium. It's going to look good.
All right, we'll see how he handles the top 3 hitters from Boston Latin. This will be, as we look through the Boston Latin batting order, leading off for Boston Latin today, we have the center fielder, number 4, Nuri Gutman. Batting second, the second baseman, number 1, Junior Calderon. Batting third, the pitcher, number 10, Jack Shapiro. Batting cleanup, the shortstop, number 5, Theo Denner. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 18, Callum Burns. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 14, Mike Hampton. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 2, Sam George. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 9, Nate Bonilla. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 8, Marco Sullivan. So they got number 9 batting 8th and number 8 batting 9th just to mess with my head, I think is their reasoning there.
Exactly, just to mess you up as here the game starts. Come for a good pitching performance.
All right, first pitch from Hoffman is going to hit the zone for strike 1 against the center fielder, number 4, Nuri Gutman.
That one just kind of cut her on the inside part of the plate. Hoffman able to get out strike 1.
Next one's going to miss outside, ball 1.
They're trying to get him low on the off speed, change him up. feel like reestablish the fastball again with this third pitch.
1-1 the count. And that one's hard hit. Out to right towards the basketball court. Almost hit one of the people on the basketball court, but it ultimately just goes for a foul ball for strike 2.
And that one absolutely tanked. Almost would have gotten out of the field for a home run if it stayed in play. Almost hit someone too, pretty crazy.
That one gonna skip in the dirt for ball 2. So a 2-2 count to Gutman.
Just bounces down, but a pitcher's count here for Hoffman.
2-2 the count to Gutman. That one misses low and in, ball 3.
That one just barely missed low and in though. Missed the zone, but he almost swung at it. Good pitch.
A full count now to Gutman here to start the bottom of the first. And he hits this one up the middle. That's going to be a leadoff single, and it skips briefly away from the center fielder, Siegel, but he does chase it down, get it back in. So that'll be a leadoff single for Nuri Gutman.
That one just comes in between Ham and Sawada, perfectly in between them. An unlucky break.
So that is a leadoff single. Runner at first. And now batting for Boston Latin will be the second baseman, number 1, Junior Calderon. First pitch hits the zone, strike 1.
It's a good pitch, throwing hard, hit the inside part of the plate. It's a good way to start it.
0-1 the count. Attempted pickoff throw, and the runner dives back safely as he tried to throw to first. Check on Gutman. Interesting note, the first baseman, James Dialchin-Derrickson, playing his first game in the field of the season after having to sit out for much of the first half of the season with an injury that he suffered in the preseason, as that one hits for strike 2.
Good pitch there. Looks like Gutman's taking a big lead. It's the pickoff there, but he'll definitely be trying to test the first baseman.
0-2 now the count to Calderon. And this one's hard hit up the middle, but fielded, juggled by Sawada. Applies the tag, throw to first. Does not get in time. Sawada just barely recovers to apply the tag on the lead runner. Doesn't have enough to get it to first, but a nice play regardless to recover.
And a great play from Keenan Sawada. Possible double play ball. Mishandles that first, recovers. Gets the runner out. What a play.
So that'll be 1 out on the fielder's choice. And Jack Shapiro hits a bouncer over to Hom. On to second for 1, on to first. They got the double play that time. That will end the inning.
Who couldn't get it to play before. Sawada gets it this time to second and first. And Brookline retires the side pretty easily.
Some strong fielding from the Warriors gets things done after giving up the lead-off single. And now we move to the top of the second. No score.
Brookline really good pitching to start here from Hoffman. They just need to drive the runners in. They got the hits in the first inning. Sawada hitting the double. Just got to drive him in, leaving the bases loaded in the first. I think that's just something you could really build off of. Pitchers look like he's getting rocked so far.
Well, really, it was one nice hit from Sawada and then a couple of walks. Brookline, a strong team in terms of getting on base. And so if Shapiro can't find the zone, Brookline is going to take advantage of that. We know that.
He walks a couple more guys. All they got to do is just sit on it, wait on the fastball, hit it, and it should be pretty easy. Again, good first inning. Just got to hold it down fielding was Sawada correcting his own mistake in the bottom of the first, made a couple great plays. Say it was a good first inning for the Warriors.
It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up in the top of the second for Brookline. Jonathan Mazzara, Ben Rosenblatt, and James Dialchand Erickson. Shapiro returns to the mound after escaping the jam in the first inning. And now leading off for Brookline, the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. As you can see from his stats on the bottom of your screen, 5 for 16 so far, tied for the team lead with 2 doubles, 1 hit by pitch, 1 steal, 4 runs, and 3 RBI.
Mazzara, big power threat with those 2 doubles for Brookline. See if he can open it up here in the top of the second. Just takes a strike.
As that one is going to be ball 1. And that is going to miss as well. 2-0 the count. Apologies, I'm having a little trouble finding my cursor in the sun to adjust the scoreboard as Mazzara swings and misses there. Strike 1. That one hits the zone as well. Strike 2, 2-2. Now the count to Mazzara.
Shapiro working that breaking ball. It's been way more effective than his fastball. Mazzara's just got to wait on his pitch now.
And does not get that pitch. Fooled on the breaking ball. Strike 3.
Yet again, that breaking ball from Shapiro has been coming in really handy, saving him this game. If he can get that fastball going, bad news for Brookline.
Now batting for Brookline with 1 down in the top of the second, the left fielder, number 18, Ben Rosenblatt. First pitch also hits the zone, strike 1. Rosenblatt so far this season, batting just 1 for 4. As that one hits the zone as well, strike 2.
Shapiro finally finding the zone for Boston Latin.
And Rosenblatt gets a piece of that one to stay alive at 0-2.
Good swing from Rosenblatt. That breaking ball again from Shapiro got him low. Lucky to hit it.
Swing and a miss, and it's back-to-back strikeouts for Shapiro. 2 down here in the inning.
Well, Shapiro got him with a couple off-speed pitches and revved it up for the fastball. And keeping Brookline off balance, Shapiro struggled a lot with the walks, but when he's finding the zone, he seems dangerous. See, Dialchand Erickson stands in.
Now batting is the first baseman, number 7, James Dialchand Erickson, as he takes strike 1 there. 0-1 is the count, as that one misses ball 1. 1-1, the count to Dialchand Erickson. Had his first day at the plate on Wednesday, went 0 for 3 against Newton North, but again, Brookline just happy to have him back in the lineup after losing him to a preseason injury as he takes strike 2 there.
That one a drop third strike. Umpire calling it a strike despite though.
Well, it dropped second strike rather than a drop third strike.
Second strike.
But yes, 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. There's the third strike, and Shapiro sends them down, all of them on strikes.
Well, Shapiro, he's just been getting the Brookline hitters behind really everything, setting him up with a dangerous breaking ball. And on all these fastballs, seems like the Warriors have just been late. He can just get a little bit more early on it, be able to hit him hard, like in the first inning.
All right, I'm going to see if I can get my other headset to work so we can be a little bit more organized from this point out. We've had a little bit of trouble with this one so far. So just keep talking, Sam. I'm gonna see if I can get this. Oh. almost. Keep talking. Just keep talking. So, no, I mean, a little bit hard to figure out how.
It's hard to see the numbers, kind of.
There we go. Sounds like we got some good noise going now.
All right, that's awesome. And we got our little, and we had our little pass the mic exercise anyway.
Yeah, got to have a little bit of practice passing the mic around. But now this should be a little easier, at least for me to juggle the computer screen and the sun. It's like I need one hand to hold over my face so I can just see the screen at all, and then one hand to type everything in. Makes it a little.
You're doing everything.
I'm the man who does everything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for Boston Latin here in the bottom of the second. Denner, Burns, and Hampton. And we will see how Hoffman handles that. Had some good work from his infield to take care of business in the first.
Oh, Hoffman did really well in the first. So did Shapiro. Looks like a really good pitcher's duel today. Good fielding from Brookline so far. Here we go.
Well, that's one of the benefits. We are playing this on a turf field here at Garvey Park, and anyone who has ever played any sport that can be played on grass or turf knows the major difference. And in baseball, the major difference is it's perfectly level, and so the likelihood of fielding errors is significantly lower, as the first pitch from Hoffman is going to be low for ball 1. At the plate for Boston Latin is the shortstop, number 5, Theo Denner.
It's Hoffman working the changeup just down low.
This one's going to be a bouncer over to first, taken by Dialchin Erickson. Flip to Hoffman for out number 1.
Hoffman getting a ground ball. And an easy little first out. He hasn't even thrown that many pitches. Been really effective. Looks like Garvey Park might be a good luck charm for Brookline. I mean, that guy who had 12 strikeouts, now Hoffman's playing well.
Well, it's a little early. Let's not get ahead of ourselves
early,
there, Sam. But he is off to a good start, as this one is going to be skied right off the first pitch. Out to shallow left. Hom is under it, and he's got it for out number 2.
At least so far.
So far, so good for the Brookline defense, as he gets a quick one-pitch pop out from the third baseman, number 18, Callum Burns, now batting with 2 outs and the bases empty. The first baseman, number 14, Mike Hampton. That first pitch going to hit the zone for strike 1.
Makes a strike, easy first pitch strike. Coming from Hoffman, he's had a good pitch mix today, only giving up 1 hit on a ground ball.
That next one going to miss just outside. Looked like he was going to much the same area, but it misses for ball 1.
Just didn't get the call there, but still a good pitch. Swing and a miss there.
Yep, chased that one high, popped briefly out of Melton's glove. He might have gotten a piece of it, but either way, strike 2, so not much matter.
Got him in a 1-2 here. Maybe go with something down low, breaking ball, mess him up. Get a swing and miss.
That one's going to skip in low for ball 2.
He went with the breaking ball, just didn't get the swing and miss on it.
2-2 now, the count to Hampton. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. That one just high. Didn't fool him with the breaker and didn't fool him with the high heat either. He's not chasing.
Tough hitter here. And just go with something inside. Get him a chop a grounder.
Did go inside, but went too low on the inside. That's going to be ball 4. First walk of the day for the Dragons.
Went inside, but again, just missed it. Ball sunk a little bit too low. And now a runner on, but still a double play opportunity.
Well, they won't need a double play with 2 outs in the inning. Up comes the right fielder, number 2, Sam George. That one skips in, but well covered by Melton. It'll simply be ball 1.
Takes another bouncer down low. These Boston Latin hitters getting big leads here. Looks like could be stealing.
This is a high bouncer over to first. Yalchin Erickson takes it nice and easy for out number 3.
Well, Hoffman's kept getting these easy ground balls on sinkers. A lot of chop balls from Boston Latin and really good pitching.
For sure. I mean, Hoffman on the season so far, coming into this game, not the biggest strikeout guy. Came into this one, he had 10 fewer strikeouts than Nico Hart, who pitched on Wednesday, but sometimes you just got to pitch to contact and trust the fielders behind you, and that has been working for him so far.
Yeah, Hoffman's been a perfect example of that, pitching to contact, but it's worked out really well despite the low strikeout numbers as well. We've seen a lot of ground balls. Only hit was on a ground ball and only one walk.
Now we move to the top of the third. Shapiro back on the hill, coming off of a dominant performance against the bottom of Brookline's lineup last inning. But they cycle around to the top of the order this time. It'll be Sawada, Siegel, and Brendel once again. And we'll see if the top of Brookline's lineup can generate some offense here in the third.
Still last inning. Shapiro just kept backing him up with the fastballs. He'll need a spark. What Hoffman's did, but they've both been really effective.
Looks like we're having a little bit of Wi-Fi trouble, but I expect this will come back. Yeah, looks like for the most part it's been solid today, and it looks like it's recovering. Like I said, folks, if the Wi-Fi ends up cutting out too much today, I am recording this and we'll be able to post a fully recorded version later tonight. But for the meantime, we march on here on the top of the third, leading off the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Takes a low, ball 1.
So low, almost like a fast slider coming from Shapiro.
That one also going to miss, ball 2.
Takes the ball there, trying to work the corner. Sawada, good eye. Not swinging at any of them.
Sawada, his last time up, got a hit out to left that he was able to stretch out to a double as it took a weird hop away from the left fielder. Takes strike 1 that time.
Now 2-1, took a strike, see what he can do. Still a good hitter's count. Sawada.
Hits a grounder here over to the shortstop, fielded, thrown to first, not in
he's got it.
time. Sawada legs out the infield single.
Tough play and a good hit for Sawada. Tough, really tough hop for the shortstop, and he's able to sprint it out, hustling.
Sawada, the speedster, taking advantage there for an infield hit. Now batting the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. First pitch misses high, ball 1.
And takes a pitch up top 1-0. And Siegel, he's been really strong.
Oh, really
for
strong
Brookline.
so far.
He's been hitting over 400 so far.
Yes, although
coming before this game.
Yeah, took a slight hit to that batting average last at bat with a strikeout. Now facing a 2-0 count with the runner at first. Fouls that one. Strikeouts to start the day for Harrison Siegel.
And the 4th strikeout for Shapiro. He's been able. 5th?
6th, actually, I think. No, 7th.
7th?
That's a high ball to Brendel and
he's got that
really
easy.
rough throw to second as Sawada takes second easily. But yes, Shapiro has gotten all his outs via strikes so far, is now batting is the right fielder, number 9, Elias Bill, as Sawada takes second.
Sawada able to steal that, and watching warm-ups for the second inning, the Boston Latin players, they weren't doing so well, made a couple errors, and looks like the Warriors are taking advantage of it.
2-0, the count to Brendel.
He checks.
And that one curves in for strike 1.
Shapiro's now been able to work back. If the Warriors can make contact, there's been good results.
That one misses the mark, ball 3. Brendel drew a walk his last time up, now on the cusp of potentially drawing another.
Brendel, he's been doing really well. Another walk. Was that third of the game? If the Warriors can get on base, they're in good hands.
And that will be a walk, and the pitch is going to get away.
Going.
Weird ricochet, and Sawada does take advantage and take third on the wild pitch.
He gets that easily. The catcher struggled to pick it up again.
All right, so that's runners at the corners. Looks like our connection might have potentially stabilized here, and I would love if that is the case, as it's now runners at the corners with 1 out for the shortstop, number 13, Felix Hom. Hom went down on strikes his last time up.
Felix Hom, he struggled so far, but he's got
Hits
a really good bat.
Oh, but a jumping catch made by the second baseman. But the pickoff throw gets away, and Sawada is going to try and come home, and that throw gets away, and Brendel is going to second. Right as my tripod breaks, but Brookline gets on the board first.
What looked like a sure out from Boston Latin turns into a disaster. The Warriors strike on the opportune time, and now it's 1-0. Sawada running home, really aware play, and the second baseman tried to get the double play, doing too much. Just missed the throw low. Throw again, came back. Coming back in, missed. And the struggling fielders now. Warriors taking advantage of that. First pitch is up and away.
There we go. Thank you for helping out with the narration there, Sam, as I was trying to fix the tripod. I appreciate you, as that's going to be strike 1, so it will be a 1-1 count. Now to Melton with Brendel on second, 2 down in the inning. Brookline on the board, 1-0. Brendel taking off for third, and they're just going to let him take it, as that'll be strike 2 to Melton.
And good base running for Brookline. The fielding problems for Boston Latin have just compounded. Melton's just got to drive him in. Just get something in play. Shapiro's been so good with the swing and miss.
That one's going to be a high ball 2. Shapiro has gotten 7 of the 8 outs he's recorded so far off of strikes.
He's been so dangerous with the strikeout. When he's not getting the strikeout, Warriors have had success.
And Melton lifts one out to shallow right. Diving catch could not be made. Or was it made? It was made.
Yeah, it was.
It was made. I lost track in the sun. Couldn't tell. He got his glove on it. Great catch out in right field by Sam George to end the inning and save a run for Boston Latin.
Man, that one looked like it was right in the gap for a second. Second run, Sam George diving out, makes an incredible play. And really saving Boston Latin struggles. That makes up for everything for them.
So a wild inning ends in a run for Brookline. Keenan Sawada scoring on the E4 on the attempted double play.
And that was one heck of an inning. A lot of action on the base paths. And a lot of action on the base paths in general for Brookline. First, now the third. They can put it in play. They've had a lot of success.
And now we move to the bottom of the third, with Brookline now having a lead to defend, as they will be going up against the 8-9-1 hitters for Boston Latin, Bonilla, Sullivan, and Gutman.
Well, Hoffman coming in this game, ERA of about 2.7, really solid. Case Bryan 6.7, also pretty good. Considering he's not really a strikeout pitcher, he can still get good amount of strikeouts, lower ERA, and he's just played well in 4 starts.
Well, 4 appearances, 3 starts, but this is his 4th start, so you are right.
Yeah.
And starting in what could potentially be a very big game for Brookline. With a 9-2 record, Brookline 1 win away from guaranteeing a 500 or better season, which would guarantee them a spot in the state tournament. For the first time since 2021, when all the teams made the state tournament that year because of the shortage of teams that were competing due to COVID. So this could be Brookline's first non-losing season since 2019.
Wow, that's incredible.
Very special year so far for Brookline, and they're trying to clinch a certain level of specialness here today.
It's been a truly special season, Brookline. Every time I tune in to a broadcast, they're playing really well. And in the past, I always thought of the Brookline baseball team as just they weren't this good ever, but this year it's really been their season. They've been playing great.
It's been a very special season and a very comedically special moment going on right here as they're trying to clear out some soccer players in right field, or at least push them back far enough.
Hopefully one of them doesn't get hit. I mean, we saw that foul ball go over there. Anyone can get hit. We could get hit.
Yeah, it's just kind of an interesting layout here at Garvey Park. They don't have exact fences to properly barrier off other people who want to just have a fun day at the park. But that said, we march on with the start of the bottom of the third. Now batting the catcher, number 9, Nate Bonilla, as he takes strike one from Hoffman.
Takes strike one in there, and Hoffman establishing those first pitch strikes found a lot of success.
That one skips in the turf, ball 1.
Here the 1-1, Hoffman going with that breaking ball there. Just couldn't get the swing and miss. So here comes the 1-1 pitch.
That one's going to be high for ball 2. So a 2-1 count. Like you said, Sam, one of the strengths that Hoffman's had in this appearance so far, he's been throwing strikes and not afraid to. A little behind in the count now. And further behind as that one missed just low, ball 3.
Really, it's been the opposite type of start for Hoffman. Shapiro, Hoffman, not a lot of base runners allowed. Same time, not getting strikeouts. Shapiro's gotten so many strikeouts, but when the ball goes in play, he's really struggled. Also with walks, as Hoffman walks.
That will be a free pass for Bonilla to lead off the inning.
So he walked Bonilla's second walk of the game.
As now coming up is the left fielder, number 8, Marco Sullivan, as we have a courtesy runner coming in for the catcher. That'll be number 6, Jack Norton, on the base paths in place of Bonilla.
It's Norton, Boston Latin, trying to get something going. Whenever they get a base runner, big leads, they're trying to get something going on the base paths.
That's going to be a high, ball 1 to Sullivan.
Takes the ball there. Hoffman's just got to get back to his bread and butter. Throwing strikes, it's worked out. Good fielders. Now he's bunting.
And he got him a bit with a fast breaking ball there as he ended up chopping that one foul. Always brings
and the
out...
ice cream truck pulls up.
Yep. Always an interesting sort of chess match when a sack bunt is being attempted because the pitcher wants to try and get him to chop it foul and eliminate that sack bunt strategy, or potentially pop it up for an easy out. Throw back to first to check on Norton. He gets back safe.
Boston Latin playing small ball bunts, stolen bases. Just by any means trying to get a run in.
Hey, welcome to high school baseball, Sam. As that one is going to miss for ball 2.
He misses for ball 2, just a little bit high there from Hoffman.
And interestingly, Sullivan wasn't showing bunt on that pitch.
It was just for one pitch, and then when he gets to strike, it's forget it.
And swings and misses there. Strike 2, bunt strategy definitely out of play here with 2 strikes.
For sure, but there's
2-2 the count, runner at first, nobody out here in the bottom of the third. That one just misses low and away, ball 3.
Changeup just barely missed there. It's Hoffman coming close to strike 3. Just didn't get the call.
Full count now to Sullivan. In there, strike 3.
No pitch from Hoffman, revved it in. That's the strikeout.
So,
now 1 out here on the bottom of the third.
And now we
Gallman
cycle around to the top of the order with the center fielder, number 4, Nuri Gutman. Gutman, his last time up, actually got a leadoff single up the middle, but was tagged out rather on a fielder's choice by Sawada.
Not incredible play from Sawada. He mishandled it, dove to tag out Gutman. That set the tone for this pitcher's duel today.
1-0 now the count to Gutman as that first one skipped in. Norton still standing at first. That's another high one, ball 2.
Just takes the ball upstairs, 2-0. And Hoffman's just got to find the strike zone. He's been so effective. He can just throw strikes. It's been working out.
He's had 2 straight batters with a 3-ball count this inning. And that one will be strike 1.
And now 2-1
the count to Gutman.
Hoffman with a breaking ball into the zone there. Now he tries to even up the count.
That one catches the outside corner, strike 2.
Hits it in there, 2-2 from Hoffman. Now getting ready. Some real good pitchers count. Gotta avoid the 3-2 with the threat of the runner leading.
And he doesn't avoid the 3-2 there. Might have lost control of that one as it skipped in the turf. Full count now to Gutman.
It's that one trying to get a chase pitch on Gutman. Curveball bounced it though. And Gutman not looking at any of that. Watch for the steal here. On first base with the full count.
High ball 4.
He doesn't go, but still advances to second. Now Hoffman's got to get out of the inning. Runners on first and second.
And now coming up with 1 out and 2 on, as you said, the second baseman, number 1, Junior Calderon. Calderon last time out grounded into that fielder's choice we were talking about.
Here's the pitch from Hoffman.
This one is going to hit the zone for strike 1. And interesting, with runners on base, you're going to have one of the middle infielders pulled out of position to cover second base for that lead runner in order to also cover the potential pull hit, which is why they have the second baseman covering him. That one hits the zone, strike 2, so Hoffman hitting the zone.
Yeah, all types of shifts, but leaves that gap between first and second wide open for a hit.
If he can go opposite field, which is easier said than done. As he pulls this one over to Hom, he juggles it, just going to have to throw to first. He gets the batter for 1 out, but again, a bit of a juggled ball prevents a potential double play on a hit ball by Calderon, same hitter.
Hom couldn't get the runner at second, recovering, guns it to first, and gets the out now. Runner on second base.
Second and third base.
And third.
As there's 2 down now in a pretty big situation here. Up comes the pitcher, number 10, Jack Shapiro. First pitch curves in, strike 1.
And that one just looped in. Big speed change from Hoffman. He's just looping curveball.
Shapiro, his last time up, grounded into an inning-ending double play back in the first. Now up with 2 runners in scoring position. Hits a dribbler over to third, fielded by Engelman. Got to throw to first, and he dives for it, cannot make it. Dialch and Erickson made the stretch to complete the 5-3 ground out, and that will end the third.
Close play at first. Engelman stretching out to grab it. Shapiro diving for first base. Really close play. Knocked the base over and almost made it.
Yeah, with this turf field, the bases aren't quite planted as securely, but nice fielded grounder by Engelman. His throw a little wide, but like you said, James Dialch and Erickson at first able to make the reach to snag that one. I always say there's no such thing as a routine ground out in high school ball, so appreciate all the ones you get. And what we've got here at the end of 3 is a 1-0 lead for Brookline. And we've got some notes in the live chat. A lot of people were talking about the system of the power rankings, as Brookline with a 9-2 record, 20th in the first Division I power rankings, is thanks to a great explanation from former Brookline High baseball coach Joe Campagna. Explains how it's a combination of, how many wins you get, what the margin is, and the strength of your schedule, as he was explaining that to some of our other viewers like Joanna Fricke and Yuli Burstein. And then our latest note in the live chat from one of our regular commenters, Barbara Jo Metzger. Very simple. Go Warriors from Grandma in Buffalo, New York. Our Brookline High baseball grandmas are tuning in again.
Brookline High, I feel like it was hockey as well. A couple of grandmas were turning in.
I think so too. I mean, that's one of the things that's really nice, is you always get a number of grandparents tuning in to see their grandkids. That's one of the things. Like when I started doing these broadcasts, it was entirely selfishly motivated. I just wanted to be able to, call sports. It's always been kind of a dream job of mine. But seeing how many people that normally wouldn't be able to tune into these games gets to tune in, always such a nice treat for me.
Super nice.
First pitch is going to skip in at the plate for Brookline, the third baseman, number 22, Charlie Engelman. Engelman went down on strikes to end the first inning. Now leading off here.
Went down on strikes, but he's had a good game with that throw from first base. Was able to gun it in when Shapiro was diving, and takes ball 2 now.
2-0 the count, as timeout briefly called. That's one of the interesting things about Engelman. He's been a very boom or bust hitter so far today. Not the highest number of hits, but also has only gotten extra base hits so far, as he's got a double and a home run. But that's a check swing grounder. That's going to be close. Flip to first, and that'll be out number 1.
Oh, you jinxed that one. Engelman just chops it down. Almost like a Joey Gallo type hitter in the MLB, just getting extra base hits and not a lot of other hits, but that one an exception, chops over for the grounder.
That one a 4-3 ground out to start. Now batting the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara, as he takes a high ball 1.
Shapiro trying to work the curveball down low back into the zone. Just couldn't get it to bite. Mazzara takes the ball.
Mazzara, another batter who went down on strikes, as we're hitting the part of the order where Shapiro got 4 straight strikeouts between the end of the first inning and the entirety of the second inning, as that one hits the outside corner for strike 1 to Mazzara.
He takes the strike now, 1-1. Fastball from Shapiro. He's been setting up the fastball with the breaking ball, then blowing the hitters away. It's only been effective, though, when he's throwing strikes.
That's another strike, as he makes it strike 2 to Mazzara on the swing and miss there.
It's Mazzara whiffs on it, Shapiro. That's that fastball. The Warriors hit has been so late on. Mazzara has, but Shapiro's just done well.
And now they're, oh,
baby running on the field.
We got a baby. We got a baby on the field. Oh boy, one of those moments where
it's like one of those fan on the field moments.
I know, that's why I'm saying, like, I'm so glad this isn't the MLB. Otherwise, security be out here tackling people.
Oh, security!
We get back to the baseball, and Mazzara chases that curveball, strike 3.
Curveball.
We briefly disconnected, but it looks like we're reconnecting. There we go. So that is 2 down now off the strikeout.
With that pitch, a curveball coming down. Mazzara just struck out. If it didn't pick it up on the connection, Shapiro whiffed him on a curveball down low, just below the zone.
Yeah, we've been having a little bit of trouble with the Wi-Fi connection, but like I said, I am recording this while I am live streaming it, and so I'll be able to post the fully recorded version later tonight. But for now, as much as we can with this in and out Wi-Fi, which might be affected by the wind gusts that we get here
for sure
on the eastern part of the city, closer to the airport. First pitch to Ben Rosenblatt in there for strike 1. Rosenblatt also went down on strikes his last time up. Shapiro trying to keep the rhythm going.
That one cutting.
Swing and a miss there, strike two.
Oh, Rosenblatt, another swing and a miss. So Rosenblatt playing his second game so far. He's been pretty good.
That's strike three as he's down on 3 strikes.
There's not a lot of experience for Ben Rosenblatt so far. Shapiro blows him away with another fastball.
Well, not a lot of plate appearances as he's kind of been more of a platoon guy, a pinch hitter. He's been in a few games, but hasn't come to the plate too many times. That time goes down on strikes, and that ends the top of the fourth. And in this break, in between the top and bottom of the fourth, I'd like to take a moment to direct your attention to a helpful link in the description section of this video. As you can see at the top of the description section of this video, if you would like to support the Brookline High baseball program financially.
Good game so far between the Brookline Warriors and Boston Latin. 1-0 so far. Really good pitchers duel. Hoffman has just been blowing away the Boston Latin hitters. Not a lot of strikeouts for him, but the fielding's been really good. A lot of ground balls. It's been a fun game so far. A lot of other, let's just say, events. Baby on the field in the last inning. Lots of stuff happening. It's been a good day.
It's been a heck of a game so far, and it is kind of reminiscent of the last time that Brookline faced BLA here at Garvey. That game was kind of a pitcher's duel up until the last couple of innings, as Brookline held really only a one-run lead for a large chunk of that one off another run that scored off an error. And then that game was later broken open by a big ground roll double from Eli Hoffman in that game 2 years ago, but here still 1-0. Now batting for Boston Latin, the shortstop number 5, Theo Denner. First pitch skips in, ball 1.
Pitch gets away. Bouncing for ball 1. Change up there. Here with Denham do up. And a 1-0 count.
This one is skied, going to stay in the infield. It's being...
Oh, popped up right into the sun, sky high. Almost right in between everybody, but Engelman coming on from a far distance at third to catch it. As it's 1 out.
So that is 1 out. 18, Callum Burns. He takes strike 1. Last time up, Burns popped out to short off the first pitch he saw.
So now it's 1-1.
This one is grounded over to third, fielded by Engelman. Throw to first, could not be skipped, could not be recovered off the skip by Dialchand Erickson, and Burns will reach on the E5. First base is not the most typical position for Dialchand Erickson, and you really see the guys who are used to playing first when you see how they handle a throw that bounces on them.
Man, but Avery Mountain running over from catcher to grab it.
Good fundamentals.
And that one could have been easily a double. Definitely, if normal first baseman was playing, could have made that catch, but tough throw.
Now batting the first baseman, number 14, Mike Hampton, as it took strike 1 on that pitch. Swings and misses for strike 2 there. Hampton quickly behind 0-2. His last time up, he actually drew a walk. But now with his back against the wall with an 0-2 count.
So now it's 0-2. And curveball there.
Went back to the curve, but could not fool him as he checked his swing. Low ball 1.
Just takes the pitch a little bit below the zone. Really good chase pitch from Owen Hoffman. Just hasn't gotten lucky on a lot of those swing and misses. Hampton takes again. Hoffman just got to throw something in the strike zone.
2-2, the count, 1 out. Burns at first. Timeout is called.
It's taken a bunch of times. That wouldn't be allowed in the MLB with all the pitch clock stuff. Here's the 2-2.
And that one is going to miss just low. And we've seen that a couple of times where Hoffman tries to fool him with the curve, tries to fool him with the high heat, tries to paint the corners. The Dragons just haven't been biting on a lot of those, and now we've got a full count to Hampton.
When he's been trying to fool him, just hasn't found success.
This one is going to be lifted sky high out to center field. Siegel comes in and has it for out number 2.
Good catch from Harrison Siegel in deep center. That one skied up. Hoffman went to the strike zone and got another easy fly out.
So, 2 down. And now coming up, the right fielder, number 2, Sam George.
George made a really good catch in right field a couple innings ago. Saved a run when a runner was on third for Brookline.
Indeed, back in the top of the 3rd inning. The Engelman, Dialch and Erickson connection recovers to end the 4th.
Dialch and Erickson kind of took it awkwardly, able to adapt, get the tag on Sam George. Identical situation. The last time he was up, grounds out in that situation. Great play from Dialch and Erickson.
Now I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to try and switch our Wi-Fi connection as we've been dealing with some problems here. So the stream's going to stop temporarily. Okay, looks like this one is going strong to start. Let's hope it stays that way. Might have been my fault for trying to use Xfinity Wi-Fi. Maybe should have been going with my phone hotspot from the start. We'll see. But for now, we've got a pitching change here in the top of the 5th inning. That is interesting to see. Just 1 earned run allowed by Jack Shapiro, but right now he is the pitcher on account for the loss if Boston Latin cannot get that run back. Now pitching is number 5, Theo Denner.
Shapiro played really well, a lot of strikeouts. Didn't give up much contact either, got hit kind of hard. When he did allow contact, couple walks, but I thought he did really well. With the swing and miss stuff, the Warriors weren't able to hit him well. Just got played by his defense.
That one error on the lineout by Felix Hom that second baseman tried to turn into a double play that allowed Sawada to score what is still, so far, the only run in what has been a thrilling pitcher's duel today. So as Denner takes over on the mound, Junior Calderon moves from second to shortstop to take Denner's former spot. And then Shapiro takes Calderon's former spot at second base. And it will be the 9-1-2 hitters coming up for Brookline, leading off the first baseman, number 7, James Dialchand Erickson, as he takes strike 1 from Denner.
Denner whipping it in there for Dialchand Erickson, who's played really well at first base this game. He's had a solid day.
A solid day in his first game back in the field after suffering an injury in a preseason scrimmage. That was just back-to-back off a season-ending injury he suffered midway through last season. And he lifts a deep shot out to center. Back, and it's caught for out number 1. He gave that one a ride, but the center fielder, Nuri Gutman, would not let him get that one.
He drove that one into deep center field. Gutman had to drive out in almost right center to make the catch. Good hit from Jalta Garrison. Just can't catch a break.
That first pitch to Keenan Sawada fouled off for strike 1. Sawada has been getting some breaks so far today, 2 for 2, and has scored the only run of the game so far as he takes a high ball 1 there.
Takes a high ball, and hits have been really hard to come by for both sides. Couple walks more for the Warriors, though, which is, felt like that's the separation, walks and fielding.
That one is a low ball, 2.
Sawada's also got the only double this game.
As he did get that leadoff hit that I think is going to be scored a double. It took a very weird hop away from the left fielder, so I don't think they're going to give him like an error or anything like that. As Sawada takes a high ball, 3 there, 3-1 the count.
He's such a threat on base. Stolen bases, stole third, and then ran home off an error.
That one just catches the low corner for strike 2.
That one just clipped in from Denner. He's not throwing as hard as Shapiro, but he's still been pretty effective, it seems.
That one tipped, stays alive.
He's just got that breaking ball. It's worked well. And the changeup below the zone. Here, the full count.
Payoff pitch is a ball, 4, and Sawada reaches base safely again.
Sawada on for the third time this game. That just adds another layer of threat.
Now batting the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. Sawada taking off immediately. Pitch was low. Sawada takes off for second, slides in with another successful stolen base.
Sawada sliding in there. He's got 3 stolen bases now. If that one from home counts on the air, then 4.
I think he's only actually got 2 so far.
Oh, because another one was off the air, I think.
Yes.
But nonetheless, he's been really good on the bases.
This one fouled off by Siegel, strike 1. Siegel's had a tough day at the plate so far, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but a chance to give Brookline a bit of a cushion here if he can drive in Sawada from second.
There's the pitch coming, wind blowing, and he takes a break. Here for Harrison Siegel, looking to get that average back up. Average before over 400 before this game. He struggled with 2 strikeouts today, but really good season.
This one misses outside, ball 2.
And he takes the ball there, 2-1 hitters count for Siegel.
This one is hit. Drive deep out to right, and that's going to bounce in. Extra bases. Sawada racing around third. Coming to the plate as Siegel races down to third with an RBI triple.
Harrison Siegel smoked that one to right field, runs into third. Driving in Sawada, it's 2-0 Brookline. As he was for sure due this game. He just tanked that one.
The first triple of any Brookline player so far this season, and couldn't have come at a better time in the middle of this pitcher's duel. Now a 2-0 lead for Brookline as Elias Brendel comes up and fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Clutch play from Harrison Siegel.
Brendel, just a little chopper, and if you're Boston Latin, you think, did we make a mistake by taking Shapiro out? Warriors have definitely done better hitting this inning.
And that one skips in, well caught by Bonilla, the catcher.
That one chopping down 1-1. Only 1 out also in this inning with Harrison Siegel on third after the triple.
And a short distance between home plate and the backstop makes it hard to score on any potential wild pitches as that one comes inside, ball 2.
But even if you can't get the wild pitches, just getting a ground, like a sacrifice grounder.
Well, that could also prove tough. All the infielders pulled in to account for that exact situation. We'll see what happens. As Brendel does hit a grounder over to second, they're going to try it home! And they got him at the plate, I believe, is the call is that he's out.
Siegel diving in at home.
but could not beat the throw, as I believe the signal was out. It was a very subtle signal, again, just to make things perfectly confusing. But the 4-2 fielder's choice.
4-2 fielder's choice, a bang-bang play at home. Really good play from Boston Latins. Their fielding's gotten better for sure.
Their fielding saved them 2 runs so far with that diving catch by George, and then that play at home.
Almost a pickoff.
And they try to pick off there, but Brendel dives back at the plate now with 2 down and a runner at first. The shortstop, number 13, Felix Hom.
Oh, he's
Brendel
going.
taking off, and the
Gets
throw
away. He's got.
Gets away, and Brendel thinking about third, but ultimately decides against it, which I understand. If you don't get a good jump, it's usually best not to chance it. Those hesitation runs are what get you thrown out on the paths, but Brendel does get the stolen base as he took off before it was a wild pitch. 1-0 the count to Hom. Hom lifts this one foul right.
Almost hit us twice.
Boy, that
one hit
folks,
right behind us and then hit almost to the other side.
Yeah, folks, you didn't get to see that because I couldn't move the camera fast enough. That went past us on our right, bounced off a railing.
Almost hit us again.
Came back behind us at our backs. So that was a fun little pinball moment as Hom fouls that one off as well for strike 2.
Smoked it back. Felix Hom looking to get his season going. A little bit of a slow start.
Well, his season has been going. He's just hit a bit of a slump lately, but he is among the team leaders in RBI with 8 so far.
Seems like a really dangerous hitter. Oh, he's
Brendel going for third, but it's fouled off. And Hom stays alive at 1 and 2.
Well, Brendel and Sawada base running's proved really key for Brookline this game. Whenever they've gotten traffic on the bases, it's been generating runs in this inning and from before in the third.
This one gets away, and Brendel is going to take off as the short backstop ends up kind of backfiring a little bit as it bounced away from the catcher. But Brendel does take third on the wild pitch. And now a runner at third with 2 down for Hom.
Another wild pitch. And Felix Hom looking to get out of it.
Yeah, he does. He's not getting out of nothing on that one. Strike 3 called. And that ends the top of the 5th. Brookline able to add 1 run. And they double their lead, but still anyone's ball game as we move to the bottom of the 5th. Brookline 2, Boston Latin 0.
It's getting another run off of base running.
Well, I mean, they got it off a deep shot is what they got it off of.
Yeah,
that big triple from Harrison Siegel. I mean, granted, those were 2 of Brookline's fastest runners on the base paths for that one. And so base running definitely played a role
but it wasn't small ball this time.
No,
Siegel
sir.
just absolutely smoked that one. Almost hit the people over there. I mean, they really got it back up.
Indeed, and so it will be the 8-9-1 hitters, Bonilla, Sullivan, and Gutman due up here as Hoffman back on the hill for his 5th inning of work.
And Hoffman keeps going. If he can just stay consistent, which he has this whole game, every inning's been really similar. He's just gotten outs, and more outs.
He has been quite consistent in taking care of business there as he enters his 5th inning of work. But it's so tricky, Sam. I always feel such sympathy for pitchers because you can have the hottest start to a game. You can have 4 or 5 great innings of work, but then if that last inning turns into a blow-up inning, it's just a bad outing because that's all it takes is 1 bad inning. And in a game this close, all it takes is 1 or 2 big swings, and things can fall apart on you. And Hoffman's certainly familiar with that phenomenon as he took a great pitcher's duel against Dover Sherborne earlier this season, took it into the 7th with a 3-1 lead, was pulled after giving up a double, and then Brookline ended up surrendering the lead in that inning. They later won in the 8th inning, 6-3, but only after surrendering a tie score in the bottom of the 7th that time. But here in this game against the catcher, Nate Bonilla, first pitch was ball 1, and second pitch ball 2.
Yeah, but thinking how Shapiro's feeling, 4 innings of great work. What did he get, 9 strikeouts?
Something crazy. I'm going to have
Something
to go back
like
and
9
count.
or 10, like just absolutely ridiculous
Go
numbers.
back and count it later.
But if Brookline can hold the lead, he'll be credited with the loss. After 4 innings of work, getting pulled.
And an
getting
unearned
lost.
run.
Yeah, an unearned run, too.
One unearned run.
Jesse, wasn't even his fault.
That's, again, it's so tough being a pitcher.
So
2-1, the count to Bonilla, and he hits a grounder back over to third. Engelman's been busy at that spot. Throw to first. Easy peasy this time for out number 1.
And Engelman delivers again. Dykeland Erickson and Engelman been a really good duo this game. Thrown from third to first. Even though Dykeland Erickson not used to playing first base, he's done really well this game.
And now batting with 1 out, the left fielder, number 8, Marco Sullivan. First pitch catches the zone, strike 1.
Strike 1 in from Hoffman, just keeps it coming. Keeps it coming with these ground ball outs, first pitch strikes. He's done really well.
Sullivan went down on strikes his last time up. Tips that one for strike 2. It's wild. It's the 5th inning, and we're only on our 2nd time through the batting order for Boston Latin. That's just how strong Hoffman has been so far today.
It's been so strong in this.
And there's strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. He kind of cut you off there, Sam. You were looking to make a point about how well he was pitching. He's like, no, I'm not even going to let you finish talking about how good I am.
Yeah,
I'm just going to let the pitch. I'm just going to let the pitch do the talking.
Strikeout, like, even though he's not a strikeout guy, he still punched out a couple hitters.
And that's his 2nd time punching out Sullivan. Now batting with 2 outs and the bases empty, the center fielder, number 4, Nuri Gutman.
Remember, I just got to say, Brookline's rotation, they're just so good.
They've been very, very strong so far this year. A very strong starting rotation of Hoffman, Engelman, and Hart.
Hoffman, Engelman, and Hart, all of them have been really good this year.
And that one skips in the turf for ball 1. Gutman, so far today, he is 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. So he's actually been very consistent about getting on base against Hoffman. Just hasn't been able to be brought in yet as he takes a low ball 2 there.
Yeah, for sure, Jesse, but all the people on base just been walks and maybe a little single here and there. It's not much coming.
That one hits the zone for strike 2.
But in terms of the rotation, Engelman, .04 ERA, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that does owe to a high number of unearned runs due to errors, but you can't take away from how dominant he has been when he's been on, as that is going to skip in for ball 3.
And even with the unearned runs, like, just considering his talent, that's amazing. And sub 3.5 ERA for 3 of the guys.
Full count now to Gutman. Misses, ball 4.
And that one, a borderline pitch, just missed it.
Very close, but Gutman draws his 2nd walk. That is walk number 4 issued by Hoffman. And you mentioned it's really mostly been walks. That leadoff single from Gutman back in the 1st inning, the only base hit for the Dragons so far, as now up comes now the shortstop, number 1, Junior Calderon, as they throw back to first. You were excited about that one, Sam. You're looking for that pickoff.
I thought they had a chance at it. They almost caught him. Especially with these guys taking big leads. He leads out again.
As that one is sliced foul. And you can see, again, kind of the chess match that happens when it's pitcher with a runner on base. You can see kind of the stall that Hoffman takes before throwing the pitch. Just anything to throw off the timing and give the base runner at first a potential bad jump if he tries to break for second.
Yeah, and it's worked so far. Not a lot of stolen bases against Hoffman.
Oh, you jinxed
Here,
it.
oh,
You jinxed it. He said that the batter went around, so that will be strike 2, but Gutman is going to take second on the steal.
strike 2, but man, I really jinxed that.
Oh, man. Well, welcome to the world of the announcer jinx, Sam. Trust me, I've had plenty of them, and you'll have plenty more in your career.
I mean, this game you've had some too. I mean.
And that one skips in. Well blocked by Melton that time. Ball 1. So a 1-2 count now to Calderon.
At least not too many jinxes. In terms of at least the bad jinxes.
He gets a piece of it, fouls it off his own body, stays alive at 1-2.
And that one looked like a fair ball, but just chopped off his body.
Calderon 0 for 2 so far today. He's had a couple of weird ground outs, as both of them were juggled by the infielder, and they ended up having to just get 1 out instead of potentially 2. Not really in a position to ground into a double play this time with a runner at second and with 2 outs. Count still 1-2. And does not chase the high ball. 2-2 the count.
It's 2-2, a curveball there up top. And a hard curveball from Hoffman. Everything he throws is about level speed, but it's all effective. So even if you can time it up, it's going to be weak contact.
Ooh! A little bit of different kind of contact that time as that hits Calderon.
That one whipped. I thought he was going to dodge it, but
He tried.
hope he's okay. That was an incredible move he just did.
Yeah,
Trying
no,
to
he
dodge it.
gave
Hope he's
every
all right.
and now there's going to be a full meeting of the infield after that pitch just got completely away from Hoffman. Try and settle the guy down, as now with how tight this game has been, like again, you've said it. We've been singing Hoffman's praise, talking about how dominant he is. Right now, the tying run is on first base.
Yeah.
Like, that is just how close this game has been, and that's just the way it is with a pitcher's duel. You know, again, you can have all the dominance in the world, but if you let just a couple of guys reach base, you know, even without any big swings, it can turn into this big, threatening situation. And now, again coming up with runners on the bases and 2 down, it is the second baseman, number 10, Jack Shapiro. He is 0 for 2 so far. He's grounded into an inning-ending double play and then grounded into an inning-ending ground out at third when he had runners at second and third. Now with runners at first and second and 2 down here in the 5th. As the first one hits the zone, strike 1.
Strike 1, Hoffman looking to end this 5th inning. Most likely his last inning.
You never
who
know.
knows? He could go one more.
You never know. He's
And
had a
with the
little trouble with control this inning, but we'll see.
Even with a little bit of trouble, just 1 hit batsman, 2 runners on. Hasn't been bad by any means. It's been good.
This one sliced foul, strike 2.
Often revving that one up inside.
You know, to me, with a game this close, whether or not he comes back out for the 6th inning depends on whether or not he gets out of this jam still scoreless.
Yeah. I think if he does, he can go for the 6th, and then maybe if he gives up a couple hits, then they take him out, but
We'll see.
we'll see.
0-2 the count, 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. Runners at first and second in a 2-run ball game.
It's getting much more chilly.
Welcome to the wind chills of East Boston near the airport, Sam.
This is not how it is in Brookline.
Nope. Well, except it's Skyline Park, but that's a different story. Pitch. Hits it out to right center. That's going to drop in. 1 runner rounding third. He's going to come in to score. And Boston Latin finally gets on the board with the RBI single by Jack Shapiro.
Jack Shapiro
He's been wanting that one.
trying to take away his own loss. Drives in the first run of the game for Boston Latin.
Gutman in to score on the single to right center. They're going to stick with Hoffman at this time, as coming up to the plate now, it's going to be pitcher versus pitcher, as up comes number 5, Theo Denner.
Hoffman just caught one in the middle of the zone, got it chopped up. Good pitch to hit for Shapiro as he drove that one out.
First pitch hits the zone, strike one. It'll be interesting to see if they try and send Shapiro, maybe try and bait Brookline into trying to throw him out so the runner can try and go home. But with 2 outs, a lot riskier than that play would normally be. 0-1, the count to Denner at this moment. That one high for ball 1.
Hoffman just struggling with control a little bit. Was so calm and collected the first couple innings. Now he's just gotten away from him a bit. He's trying to settle down.
Denner 0 for 2 so far today. A 3-1 ground out and a pop out to third in foul territory. But he lifts this one out to center field. Siegel going back, and he's got it. And Brookline maintains the lead at the end of 5.
Hoffman escaping the jam. Harrison Siegel, he had to go far back. That one was absolutely smoked. He catches it for the fly out.
And we are through 5 here at Garvey Park in Dorchester, Massachusetts. Our score at the end of 5, the Brookline Warriors 2, the Boston Latin Academy Dragons 1. And during this time, this break between the 5th and 6th innings, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about Brookline Cares. Brookline Cares is a volunteer organization run by Brookline High School students, which seeks to raise awareness and funds to help people experiencing homelessness. Brookline Cares works closely with an organization called the Empowerment Plan. The Empowerment Plan hires and trains those struggling with homelessness to manufacture their special type of coat, known as the Empower Coat, which can double as a sleeping bag. The coats help to keep those dealing with homelessness warm during the colder months, while the jobs manufacturing those coats can help break the cycle of homelessness through gainful employment. Over the past 3 years, Brookline Cares has purchased and distributed over 200 Empower coats and 1,000 pairs of Bombas socks to local community organizations and emergency departments that care for the homeless, and you can help them bring more warmth to those in need. Down in the description section, you'll find 2 links. The first link to a website on classy.org where you can donate money to the Brookline Cares team to help support their efforts to purchase more Empower coats. And then the second site on wixsite.com is the group's own website where you can find out more information about them, how you can contact them. Maybe if you're a student, you want to find out how to join them, you can find that there. So find those links down in the description section down below. We move now to the top of the 6th. It will be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Melton, Engelman, and Mazzara due up for the Warriors against Denner. Their first time facing the Boston Latin reliever. And leading off will be the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton. First pitch hits a grounder over to third, fielded cleanly, thrown to first, and that'll be a quick out number 1.
Melton, just a little chopper. Chop ball to third base.
1 pitch, 1 out for Denner to start the top of the 6th. Now batting the third baseman, number 22, Charlie Engelman. First pitch misses, ball 1.
First pitch, that one just barely misses, but the drop strike probably influenced the umpire's call.
Engelman 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout and a ground out to second. Hits a hard one there, takes a hop off the pitcher's mound, fielded at
off
third,
his
thrown
leg.
to first, and he got it.
That one came off the pitcher's leg.
And that will be out number 2. Well fielded at third base. A nice turnaround throw from Callum Burns to get the second out of the inning. And now it's 2 down and the base is empty. They check briefly on Denner after that one. Might have bounced off his leg or off his foot or something. Oh, we're going to have a pinch hitter here in place of Jonathan Mazzara is going to be number 8, Ben Doctoroff. This is going to be his first plate appearance in a good while. He was a regular starter through the first few games, then got moved into kind of a courtesy runner position, running for Melton a lot. Now facing 1-1 count to start here.
It's Dr. a big impossible moment for him. He's looking to break this open. Get a runner on here for Brookline.
2-1 the count. Doktorov so far this season 2 for 17 with 1 walk, 6 steals, 4 runs scored, and 2 RBI. As that one catches the corner for strike 2. 2-2 now the count to Doktorov.
Yeah, as you were saying, Doktorov really good on the base. Just needs to pick up his bat. Been in a little bit of a
that
slump.
time.
Doktorov in a little bit of a slump, but once he gets on base.
His first, well, he's not getting on base this time. Swings and misses there, and that is going to end the top of the 6th inning as we move now to the bottom of the 6th. Our score still Brookline 2, Boston Latin Academy 1. And it's going to be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Burns, Hampton, and George coming up. And we'll see if Brookline looks like...
New pitcher.
Is it?
Is that? I think it is.
I'm waiting for him to turn and show his jersey number because I think that might still be Hoffman. It is.
Oh, yeah, it's Hoffman.
It is still Hoffman.
So Hoffman was able to calm the storm last inning.
Limit them to just 1 run, but now he doesn't have that cushion. It's back to a 1-run ball game. And he'll be facing, like I said, the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Burns, Hampton, and George. Here in the bottom of the 6th as this game goes down to the wire. Brookline trying to clinch their first non-losing season since 2019 and an automatic berth in the state tournament.
Brookline's really turned around their program, struggled the last couple years, and now, as you were saying, it's been their time. Going to, if they can win, can clinch the state tournament.
We'll see what they do here. Is now leading off for Boston Latin is Callum Burns. He takes that first one, skipping on the turf. Burns made a couple of nice plays at third in the top half of this inning.
That one chopped downstairs from Hoffman. Fastball kind of spiked.
This one is lifted out to right center.
That's playable.
Siegel on his horse, and he's got that speed and he's got that range to make that look like a routine flyout, and that will be out number 1.
Harrison Siegel's been like a hawk in center field, roaming over, making another catch for the Warriors. Made that catch in deep center last inning, too. He's had a heck of a day with an RBI triple as well. Feels like he's been man of the match so far.
1 down, and now up the first baseman, number 14, Mike Hampton, as he takes ball 1 there.
Probably either Hoffman or Siegel for me.
For sure, hey, you can't forget the guy who's scored both runs.
Sawada.
Keenan Sawada.
Him also.
As that one is low for ball 2.
It's been a real collective effort.
For sure.
Yeah.
2-0 the count to Hampton. His last time up, he flew out to center. Before that, drew a walk. So 0 for 1 so far today with 1 free pass as he takes strike 1 there.
Hoffman just getting it in there. Another fastball for a strike. Haven't been able to do much. A couple flyouts that were hit pretty hard, but still in good places. Hoffman doing everything right.
That one hits the zone as well. Strike 2. 2-2 the count to Hampton.
And now 2-2. Hey, maybe he goes to something. Try to get him off guard, possibly. He's been expecting a strike.
And he tried to chase him low there, but again, the Dragons hitters have not been chasing those, and he doesn't chase that one. Full count.
Ended up going with that slider curve down. It didn't work. It's just been so much better when he's throwing strikes.
Misses that one low. Ball 4. Hampton draws his second walk of the day. The tying run is on base here with 1 out.
Another walk for Hoffman. He's gotten a little bit more out of control in these last couple of innings. Still able to settle. First couple innings, he had about a walk, base runner, an inning ever since. He's been giving up a little bit more contact, more balls, less strikes, but still able to hold it together.
Now batting the right fielder, number 2, Sam George. That first pitch gonna miss for ball 1.
Was that changeup on the right, on the outside part of the plate to George. Sam George made a big impact in the field. Nothing yet.
Nothing yet at
with
the
his
plate.
bat.
0 for 2 with 2 inning-ending groundouts as he takes ball 2 there.
Another ball from Hoffman. He's just gotta, I feel like Jesse's just gotta establish that strike zone if he can do that.
2-0 the count. And that one hits the strike zone. And that'll make it a 2-1 count.
This is 2-1. Here, Hoffman checking first. Another stolen base threat. He takes a big lead.
That one gonna miss just outside ball 3. A 3-1 hitters count to George with a runner at first and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
There, the BHS bench thought they had a strike there. Another borderline call going the hitter's way from the umpire.
And he hits a dribbler right in front of the plate, picked up by Melton, thrown to first. They get out number 2. Hampton does advance on what, it for all purposes, might as well have been a sac bunt, although it won't go down as one. A 2-3 ground out. But now the tying run in scoring position with 2 down. And now up comes the catcher, number 9, Nate Bonilla.
Three kind of weird dribbler ground outs for Sam George. As you were saying there, Jesse, it's basically a bunt. Still effective for Boston Latin.
First pitch is low, but well covered by Melton, as anything that gets away from him could lead to a runner moving on the base paths.
Oh, thank you. I gotta put this down.
1-0 the count to Bonilla. And that pitch is going to be high for ball 2. Yeah, you got to watch out putting your papers down
Yeah,
in a windy day like today.
It's cold and windy.
Well, welcome to the outdoor broadcasting game, Sam.
Yeah, I've gotten used to hockey and basketball. Hockey, it's like cold, but in a different way. This is just a different beast, it feels like.
Yep, as that one hits for strike 1. Well, also just because it's spring, you don't expect cold in the spring. But once you cover sports for a few years and you're the guy just kind of standing watching it, you realize how cold it gets in the spring and how much our parents have put up with us over the years. That one lined. Oh, it gets past Hom into the outfield. Hampton is going to hold at third. And it's a pinch hitter who got that one. I didn't quite see that, but a pinch hit single from number 11. From number 11, who is not on the
roster,
not on the full roster, and not on this. So I have no idea who that was.
Well, whatever his name is, good hit from number 11, Hugh Bollinger. A great throw in from left field, coming in as a substitute and saved a run there.
I hadn't even noticed that he'd subbed in. That's a good eye.
He gunned it, the only freshman on the team.
So number 11 gets the pinch hit single, puts the tying run at third with 2 down, and Brookline is going to go to the bullpen. They're going to go to their closer, number 9, Elias Brendel. As we take a look at Elias Brendel's pitching stats for the year thus far, He has had 4 pitching appearances, just like all of Brookline's starters, but only one of them was a start, as he's mostly been brought in situations like this. He has a 2-0 win-loss record. He's got 1 save in 3 opportunities, but those 2 blown saves account for the 2 wins on his win-loss record. He's pitched 7.1 innings through those first 4 appearances with a 1.91 ERA, a 1.77 whip, and 8 strikeouts. So going to be very interesting what he does here as Hoffman finishes having thrown 5 2/3 innings.
He's done really well, and also interesting that they're bringing in the closer here only in the 6th inning.
Well, I mean, when the tying run is at 3rd, you know, sometimes that's the situation.
Also, he's made a start, so maybe he can go a couple more innings, fill in for long relief as well.
Oh, for sure.
Seems like he's a versatile player.
Very versatile arm. He was much more of an innings eater last year. Last year, he had about 4 pitching appearances, 1 start, but had way more innings than he's had so far this year. They've mostly just reserved him for these closer roles, and you know, we'll see how he handles. This is a very high-pressure situation to be brought in. Like I said, he's been brought in on 3 different save situations. He's blown the save twice. Both times, Brookline was able to rebound and take the lead, and then Brendel held on to secure the win. But it's going to be interesting to see what he does here. Just needs 1 out to escape with the lead intact. And that is going to be against another pinch hitter, as number 6, Jack Norton, is going to bat in place of Marco Sullivan here with runners at 1st and 3rd and 2 down.
Well, Jesse,
First
it really
pitch.
seems like this is actually the perfect role for Brendel then. Kind of a closer, long relief. He can go a couple innings. Just when you said closer, I was like, you know, it makes no sense why they're bringing him in earlier.
Closer can pitch 1 1/3.
I mean, there's 7 innings.
Yes. Welcome to the high school game.
I wasn't sure if it was, I thought it was 7. I wasn't sure if it was 9, though.
Yeah, I understand. It's your first game.
I was
happy
guessing
happy
7.
to educate.
Like, my little, senior league games last year were 7. So.
Yeah. 2-0, the count to Norton. Hampton, the potential tying run at 3rd. As that's another miss, ball 3. Now, Brookline can afford to give up a walk, but the trouble with that is then you cycle around to the top of the order, and Gutman, who has been so good at getting on base today, comes to the plate with the bases juiced. 3-0, the count to Norton.
Also, if you juice the bases, 1 double, that could score 3 and really got this one open.
That one's going to hit the zone for strike 1 as Norton was taking all the way.
Brendel hitting the outside corner with that on the 3-0 as he's holding on for dear life for Brookline.
That one hits the zone as well. It's a full count here in the bottom of the 6th with 2 down, runners at the corners in a 1-run ball game.
It's full count. It's about as high leverage as it gets.
Big payoff pitch coming.
Who's going?
And that's going to bounce low, and that is going to load the bases on a walk. Number 11 was running because no matter what happened there, he was, it was either the inning was going to end or he was going to get the free pass to second, which he did. And so it will be bases loaded, 2 down in a 1-run ball game, as now upcoming is the center fielder, number 4, Nuri Gutman. Gutman, 1 for 1 so far today with a single and 2 walks. Up in a big situation here, and Brookline can't afford to give up a walk in this situation with the bases loaded. But the first pitch from Brendel is a strike.
Brendel gets it in there, and Gutman, a dangerous hitter. He'll need to lock this down.
Gutman scored the first run of the game for Boston Latin last inning.
Brendel slider into the zone there. Is this one?
Also hits the zone. Brendel finding the strike zone a lot more easily against this batter than he did against the last one. 0-2, 2 down, bases loaded, 1-run ball game.
Well, that one he revved it back up with a fastball.
Can Brendel escape the jam here in the 6th? Oh, just missed ball 1.
He just missed that one down low. And the whole Brookline bench thought that was a strike.
Every member of the Brookline team there thought that one was a strike.
That one.
It was a very close call. And the thing is, Sam, when you get a borderline call in the zone, the ump is going to lean towards the call that doesn't result in an out or a walk.
Yeah, and ending the inning.
1-2, the count. Reaches out, hits a grounder, over to short, taken by Hom, throw to first, not in time! He reached on the infield single, and we are tied! Nuri Gutman has reached 4 times today, and now he is driven in the tying run.
And a bang-bang play at first base. Gutman just barely beat it out. Good throw from Hom off platform. He was able to gun it over, but Gutman, with that speed, he's now 2 walks
and 2 singles.
He's been so dangerous 2-2 game,
and that's the tough thing is it was a slow high hopper that Hom had to charge in for. He was pulled back in the infield to make sure that nothing got to the outfield to try and cover for that, and so the slow high hopper opened the door for Gutman to speed his way over to first. Like I said, such a chess match. And now coming to the plate will be the shortstop, number 1, Junior Calderon, with the bases loaded still. And now the go-ahead run at third for Boston Latin Academy. As again, I think they were trying to move people back.
Move people back as now they've come into the field again. I wonder how they put up with all the games here.
First pitch to Calderon. Hits the zone, strike 1.
So that one's in for a strike. Calderon, he's down solid as well.
Next pitch is going to miss, ball 1. Calderon so far today 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. And again, Brookline cannot surrender any free passes here. That would bring in the go-ahead run. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. 1-2 the count again. Brookline 1 strike away from escaping the jam.
And Brendel is finding his stride now. He struggled a little bit ago, but he's throwing more strikes. It's working out.
Misses outside, ball 2.
That one just missed.
2-2 the count to Calderon. With the bases loaded, 2 down, and a tie ball game here in the bottom of the 6th.
2-2 count, can't give up any hits.
Chases it low, strike 3. It's a drop third strike, and he's just going to tag the force at home. And that will end the inning. Brendel is just barely able to escape without giving up a go-ahead score, but he does surrender the tying run. It will go down as another blown save.
But also an earned run.
That will be
for Hoffman.
For Hoffman, that's correct.
An earned run for Hoffman, but Brendel escapes.
As Brendel does prevent Boston Latin from taking the lead, but now as we head to the 7th and final inning of regulation, I have to point out now, because with a tie score, we could potentially be going into extras.
Now, is there any, like, ghost runner and, like, extras or anything like that? Okay.
Not at this level. Good question, though, because there are some levels where they do that. I know for the summer college leagues they do that.
Okay.
Because that was kind of because those are the leagues where they
They
experiment
experimented before the MLB.
before the MLB does it. These are the leagues where they're going to follow the example of the MLB outside of the number of innings and, of course, the existence of the mercy rule at this level. But
What's the mercy rule?
The mercy rule is if a team is ahead by 10 or more runs after 5 innings, the game is over.
I mean, that's fair for high school.
Yeah, that's fair. I've even seen in other states where they have a rule of 15 after 3 innings, then the game is over, which
15 after 3, I don't know about that one.
I kind of like that one because I've seen one game that came real close to that, and I was like, this game needed to be over 2 innings ago.
Wow.
But I can definitely understand some people being like, give people more of a chance to
just
keep
a little
playing.
bit more the chance because you can get 5 runs in an inning, make it back.
I'll tell you.
I mean, 15. That
Once
you're
it's at
demoralized.
15, no one's really playing anymore. That's the thing. Like, it is an experience of playing, but you're not really playing because the team that's ahead isn't going to keep piling on, so they're just batting to get out and get the innings over with.
Yeah.
And the other team clearly can't do anything if they're behind by 15
Yeah,
runs.
if you're losing by 15 after 3. I don't know. You might be right about that.
It's it's something to think. It's something for rule makers to think about. It's not our job to decide that, but we are going to start the top of the 7th with a new batter for Brookline. Batting in place of Ben Rosenblatt after taking over for him in left field is number 21, Hugh Bollinger.
Hugh Bollinger, only freshman on the team.
Correct. And he takes strike 1 from Denner there. He's had a strong season so far. As he lifts one, caught, well covered by Shapiro at second for out number 1.
Good hit from Bollinger, just lines it at Shapiro.
Yeah, that's one of those where if the infielder was playing in or if he was a little shorter, that might go for a base hit, but not the case this time. Now coming up the first baseman, number 7, James Dialchand Erickson, as he takes ball 1. We've seen Dialchand Erickson send 1 ball on a ride, but that was just a flyout. He's still looking for his first hit of the year in just his 2nd game since coming back from injury. Lifts a blooper out to right center. Both outfielders charging in, and almost a bit of a collision.
Yeah.
You got, that's
Almost
one of those
dropped it.
situations where you've got to abide by the call of the center fielder. They're the captain of the outfield, so not the greatest fundamentals there, but they do get the 2nd out. 2 quick outs for Boston Latin, and now back to the top of the order with Keenan Sawada as he takes a high ball 1. Sawada has scored both runs so far for Brookline. He's been doing good, getting on base every time so far, as that one skips in low for ball 2.
Ball 2 there. Sawada takes a ball.
2 for 2 with a walk so far today.
And once Sawada gets on base, he's also such a threat with that speed. Scored on Harrison Siegel's RBI triple. Stolen base threat as well.
2-1 the count as that skips in for ball 3. 3-1 the count to Sawada. A chance to get on the bases as the potential go-ahead run. And that one catches the corner, strike 2. Again, like I said, when it's a borderline call, the umps are going to lean. This is something they've actually studied at the MLB level. They're going to lean towards the call that's not a strikeout or a walk. As Sawada hits a grounder past the pitcher, Shapiro charges in, takes it, throws to first, and they beat him by a step for out number 3.
Just barely beats out Sawada, but as you were saying, Jesse, I feel like that's definitely something I've noticed, because if you mess up a call, you don't want to have a big impact on the game. What's harder is when it's 3-2.
Correct. That's when their hand is forced. You gotta make a call either way, and it's gonna get a result. But our result right now is that we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Brendel coming back out for another inning of work, and we're tied at 2.
In the bottom of the 7th, Boston Boston Latin coming up after scoring a run.
And if Boston Latin, who has scored a run in each of the last 2 innings, if they score one, the game will immediately end on a walk-off. If they were to score, as they are the home team, Brookline trying to give themselves another chance to get back at the plate in the 8th inning. Try and score.
Wait, so Jesse, so like how if we went to extras, how many innings would there be of extra innings? Or is there no limit? Or
we got lights here. As long as they have permission
so
to
it's
turn the
going
lights
forever.
on. Yeah, as long as they got permission to turn the lights on, because they've last time Brookline played here, they played under the lights because it was a later start time.
That sounds cool.
But it was a great time. But that's, obviously relies on whether they have, permission to get the lights on and everything, because if they don't, or if the technology malfunctions in any way, then the game could be postponed due to darkness, in which case I've seen that happen a couple of times. They end up, scheduling a time to resume the game, usually as soon as possible. So likely it would be tomorrow if that were to happen, if the game got called due to darkness. But I don't expect that to happen here today. As it is, now batting is Jack Shapiro as he takes strike one. Shapiro, of course, drove in the first run of the game for Boston Latin back in the 5th. As he takes strike 2 from Brendel there.
Takes strike 2 again.
Brendel blew the save for the 3rd time this season, but each time he's done that, he's ended up with the pitching win.
And Brendel got wild with that.
That almost hit him. That was really close.
Nearly hit him.
But did not quite hit him. And so still a chance to get him out with a 1-2 count.
Here's the 1-2 from Brendel.
And he chops this one high, shallow left field. Hom is back, but surrenders it to Bollinger, who makes the snag for out number 1.
He comes in, Brendel. 3rd blown save, but we'll see if he can get the win after this.
That's been his MO so far, is out of 3 save opportunities before today, he got 1 save, blew 2 others, but both times he blew the save, he got the win. Now batting is the pitcher, number 5, Theo Denner, as he takes that one outside for ball 1.
Oh, Brendel, he's been good in long relief, in addition to just being a closer with getting those wins. A guy that can go a couple innings. He's not just, put him in for the 7th. He can definitely get a couple.
2-0 the count now to Denner. And this one is skied out to left center. Outfielders on their horse. Bollinger is back, and he's got the catch just in front of the pavement and the trees. Because if you make a catch out in the trees, fun fact, that's a ground rule double.
What about the pavement?
I think I might be the same case. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, did not come into play that time as Denner flies out to left. Now batting with 2 down, the 3rd baseman, number 18, Callum Burns.
So, Jesse, if it hit the pavement or the trees, would that be a home run?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Or maybe they just let it play out.
It's tough with a place like this that has no fences. You just got to decide the rules beforehand. As Burns chases that one for strike 2.
They probably just play it out without.
The only way for us to know is for someone to blast it out there.
We don't really want, at least right now.
0-2 the count. Misses that one low and away, ball 1. 2 down, bases empty here in the bottom of the 7th. If Brookline gets this 3rd and final out, we are going to extra innings. He hits a pop-up over Djalchin Erickson's head into right field. And that is going to be a 2-out single for Burns, who now represents the potential winning run.
Dylan Harrison lunching out for it, almost made the catch.
Just a little too high.
He's done really well for somebody at third who hasn't, considering all his injuries, doesn't play first base. Usually he's done really well.
Now batting the Boston Latin first baseman, number 14, Mike Hampton. Hampton scored the tying run last inning as he takes low ball 1. Hampton 0 for 1 so far today with 2 walks.
That one just misses down low from Brendel. Brendel locking in again. Again, like you said, it's been his MO. Every time he's been blowing the saves, but then he locks in again after that. He's been doing well. He's got to watch first base. Potential threat of stealing. As Boston Latin definitely wants to play small ball.
The 1-1 count. Swing and a miss there. Strike 2.
That's a big swing. On a looping curveball, Hampton tried to take that out one. Just got early.
1-2, the count to Hampton. 2 down, runner at first. Tie ball game in the bottom of the 7th. And he chops that one foul and out of play.
It hits off the lights.
Oh my, you got to be careful about that.
When you cannot break the lights.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that, especially for the sake of the safety of anyone beneath those. I don't see anyone immediately beneath those lights, but can potentially be dangerous.
Yep. Nothing good.
Ooh,
Just
that
missed.
one. Again, just miss. And I feel like a broken record, but I feel like that one might have been another case of borderline, you lean towards the non-result call.
Yeah, you bet.
With 2 strikes.
All these borderline calls have been to the non-result call. I know they do
Correct.
it in the MLB, but
2-2 the count
I never
to
noticed
Hampton.
I never noticed it here.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He got him with the high heat. And we are, in fact, going to extra innings.
Elias Brendel escaping the inning after blowing the save. He locks in and shuts it down the 7th extra inning game. And man, Jesse, my first hockey game, that was the game where Jack O'Connor had, 50 saves? And now I'm getting a really good first baseball game.
And that hockey game, I
That was a
believe,
tie, too.
that went into overtime as well. Yeah. So, boy, they must have knew you were coming out today, Sam.
For sure. And then my luck kind of ran out after that.
Well, we'll see what Brookline's fortunes are to be as we move to the top of the 8th inning here at Garvey Park. The coaches probably discussing what the situation is with the lights, how far into the game they can go before potentially after calling it due to darkness.
And then would they just play that out tomorrow?
Most likely.
That makes sense.
Denner back on the hill for Boston Latin. Sorry, Sam, I cut you off. What were you saying?
Well, I was just wondering if they had ties in baseball, because there's no ties in professional hockey, but they have ties in high school hockey.
Yeah, no, there are not ties in baseball. At least not as far as I know. I've never seen one. I've seen games get delayed to the next game and ultimately get decided. I've seen, I saw a game get delayed and later heard that it went to the 11th inning, because the unfortunate thing for me was that the time the game got delayed, because of darkness, I wasn't able to come back the second day because I had another game I was covering the next day. So that's why I'm kind of sweating it out here, because I do have more games on the docket for myself tomorrow. So I'm really hoping that someone can end it here in the 8th.
Yeah.
And we shall see how that goes. It's the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for Brookline. Siegel, Brendel, and Hom. And we'll see what they do against Denner here. Leading off, the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Siegel. First pitch is a high ball, 1. Siegel 1 for 3 so far today. Struck out his first 2 times up, then had that huge RBI triple. That is a big reason why we're in extras here, as that next pitch misses low for ball 2.
Ball 2, now 2-0 for Harrison Siegel. Had that triple, a lot of power in his bat. I feel like once he gets a hold of anything, he can just smoke it.
That one catches the high corner for strike 1, 2-1 the count.
He's getting kind of pitched around here.
That one skips in, ball 3. I mean, if they're going to pitch around him, they got to be careful. Siegel is the team leader in steals, one of the fastest guys on the team. He's got 9 stolen bases so far this season.
Yeah, definitely. He can
Swing
do everything.
and a miss.
He can hit for power. He can get on base, get steals. It's really the right guy you want in this situation, feel.
Full count now. Makes contact, grounder over to third, taken by Burns, thrown to first, and they got him in time for out number 1. Oh, and it looks like they might have caught Hampton on his heel.
Yeah, Harrison Siegel running over him. Just clipped over Hampton. Hope he's okay.
Indeed, he's down on the ground, holding his heel.
Oh.
God, it's such a precarious position at first base. Oh, that doesn't look good. So that's Mike Hampton down on the ground, being looked at by the trainer. You know, it doesn't matter who you're rooting for. You never root for an injury to anyone.
Oh.
Okay, he's getting up, little hobbled, trying to walk it off. Just testing it out.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to stay in the game. So I think that might have been one of those plays that just like stings really hard, like it's an injury, but ultimately, like once you get over the initial shock and
okay.
pain, then yeah. So many nerve endings in your feet, you know.
You bet.
So 1 out here on the top of the 8th. Now coming up, the right fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel.
Here, Brendel,
first pitch, hard grounder right at Hampton, and he has got it for out number 2.
And Hampton.
So 1 pitch, 1 out there.
Looks like Hampton's feeling okay. It's a nice little play off a 1 hop there.
Now batting the shortstop, number 13, Felix Hom. First pitch, he hits a grounder over to Calderon at short. He's going to throw to first. Taken off the turf by Hampton for out number 3. So Brookline goes down in short order in the top of the 8th. And now we move to the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 2. Another chance for Boston Latin to potentially win this game.
3 quick ground balls there for Boston Latin to handle. Earlier in the game, they were definitely struggling with their fielding, but he's gotten really sharp as of recent. Haven't been there in a couple innings. Now Brookline holding on for dear life with Elias Brendel.
1 run from the Dragons would end this game on a walk-off here in the bottom of the 8th.
Yep, just need 1.
As it'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up. We had a couple of pinch hitters there, but I expect Bonilla will probably be back at the plate as he is the catcher, so he was probably subbed out for 1 at bat and then subbed back in. That is something that is allowed at the high school level. George set to be the first batter and then Norton pinch hit for Sullivan, and I assume he's staying in the batting order, so my guess is that it's George, Bonilla, and Norton, but we shall see
Yeah, definitely.
what happens here in the bottom of the 8th.
It's a really good pitcher's duel this game. Both sides have just been locked down.
It's been a heck of a game, just 2 runs from each side.
What's the longest you've ever seen a game go into extras?
The longest I've seen a game go, I think was about 11, but I'd have to double check that, because there's been a couple of games that I've seen go to multiple days. Saw that happen with one game this past summer when I was covering summer ball, and I don't remember how many innings that one went to. I think that might have gone to 9.
What's
and then there was summer baseball.
I know
leading
that,
off,
but like, is it like high school or college?
It's high school. Leading off is the right fielder, number 2, Sam George, as he takes ball 1. A 1-0 count now. That one hits the zone for strike 1.
Now it's 1-1.
Yep.
Elias Brendel whipping it in there on the outside part of the plate. He's really settling in. In all these games, he's blown saves. He struggled in the first inning. He came in, then after that, he's just absolutely locked it down.
Yeah. Well, it's so tough coming in with runners inherited from the starter that you're relieving. This is now a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Brendel high and away. Fastball. As he picks up a strikeout.
Now batting the catcher, number 9, Nate Bonilla, as he is, or actually I think it might be number 11 again.
Number 11.
As that one is going to hit the zone. It got away from Melton's glove, but that's still going to be strike 1.
Yep. It's Brendel here. Missed with that one. The anonymous number 11. Came in as a pinch hitter last time. And
now Melton calling for a timeout for a glove change, as that one popped out of his glove, and he doesn't like that. Wants to make sure he's got a fresh glove.
Definitely here in this late game.
This one is jammed inside. It's taken off a couple hops by Sawada, thrown to first for out number 2.
Little ground ball that Brendel's able to induce Sawada, throwing it over to Declan Derrickson. And these extra innings going by real quickly.
You've said his last name about 3 different times today. You're struggling, man.
Yeah.
Now batting, actually, it is Sullivan who is coming back in place of Norton. Number 8, Marco Sullivan, back in the batting order as he takes strike 1. Oh, and 1 the count to Sullivan. That one misses, ball 1.
He takes that one, a little slider in there.
Brendel trying to advance this game to a 9th inning. And with how fast these innings have gone, we should probably still have time for a 9th inning if they can end this one quickly.
Possibly 10th.
Well, we're running out of sun. It's starting to dip below the rooftops. 1 and 2 the count.
And that light got a little damaged.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Brendel does put them down in order. And we advance to the 9th inning, still tied at 2.
Elias Brendel escaping again. He goes 1, 2, 3. 2 good innings after blowing the save.
You're right. Like you said, Elias Brendel has been locked in for the last 2 innings. 3 strikeouts over those last 2 innings, and one more strikeout that he had in the first inning he came in. So 4 Ks so far for Brendel, as Denner now comes back out onto the mound. He came in midway through regulation. He is still going, and he will be facing the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Melton, Engelman, and either Mazzara or Doktorov, depending on if they stick with their pinch hitter.
Can they go back if they do a pinch hitter?
Yes, we just saw that with Marco Sullivan, who was pinch hit with Jack Norton earlier this game and then came back. That was also something I had to learn when I first started covering the high school game.
Yeah.
You know, they got some weird substitution rules at this level.
Definitely.
You know, just because there's only so many guys on team and only so many guys that can play certain special positions. You know, that's part of why at the high school level they have the courtesy runner rule, where if a pitcher or catcher reaches base, you can give them a pinch runner that only substitutes as a runner, and you can have them substitute as a runner every single time they reach base. That's called a courtesy runner rather than a pinch runner, because it's a courtesy that is given only to pitchers and catchers.
And then what would a pinch runner, like, they're out of the game or what?
Sometimes, because again, they have that one-time sub in and out thing.
Yeah.
You can, the same way you do with a pinch hitter, you can also do that with a pinch runner.
Also, like, it doesn't really make that much of an effect.
Potentially. You know, I think you can only do it once. I've only ever seen it done once per game. So that's my understanding of it, but, you know, interesting rule differences at different levels.
Yeah.
We start the top of the 9th inning, leading off the catcher, number 17, Avery Melton, and it hit him!
Hit by pitch!
First pitch hits him, and the go-ahead run is on the base paths as Melton gets plunked to start the inning, and now we'll see if Brookline sends in a courtesy runner for their catcher, and it looks like the Boston Latin catcher, as he might have taken that off the ricochet, was a little shook up there, and likely I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a courtesy runner come in. Brookline's number 19, Devin Chin, who is also a frequent courtesy runner, along with Doktorov. With Doktorov now slated as a pinch hitter in Mazzara's spot in the order, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Chin come in to run in place of Melton as the potential go-ahead run. Or are they sending in someone else? They are sending in number 12, Wally Lawrence, to run in place of Avery Melton. As now coming up to the plate will be the third baseman, number 22, Charlie Engelman.
See here, Engelman coming up.
And he goes for a bunt. Sack bunt is laid down on the throw. Got away, but he does tag the base.
Well, I was about to say Engelman. He's got some good power in his bat, but he decides to bunt it down.
I'm not sure if that was intentional or if it was a weird check swing situation, but it does move Lawrence down to second. The go-ahead run in scoring position. Now batting the designated hitter, number 8, Ben Doktorov.
Whatever that wasn't for sure worked from Wally Lawrence.
And so that'll be
to second.
Yep. Swing and a miss for strike 1 to Doktorov. He went down on strikes his last time up. Swing and a miss there, strike 2.
Caught a miss from Brendel.
Trying
Doktorov.
Trying to see if he can move the runner as Denner takes a step off the mound to keep Lawrence honest at second. And he hits a high hopper over the pitcher. Charging in is Shapiro, and he gets the play at first for out number 2. Lawrence is moved to third on the ground out by Doktorov. And now all eyes are on the freshman the left fielder, number 21, Hugh Bollinger. Bollinger was the hero back in Brookline's second win of the season against Framingham. Had the walk-off hit in the bottom of the 7th. Now up with the go-ahead run at third, and he chops it high, and that's going to be playable. But it's going to be playable for Hampton, and that'll be out number 3. So no heroics in the top of the 9th. Brookline gets a runner all the way to third, but cannot score him. And we move to the bottom of the 9th, still tied at 2.
Hugh Bollinger just popped that one up. Now Brookline, they're going to keep Elias Brendel in. He's been doing really well as of late. Here in this 9th inning.
He will be facing the top of the Boston Latin order here in the bottom of the 9th. Gutman, Calderon, and Shapiro. A note in the live chat from Paul Hom, father of Felix Hom, says, "E crushing it," referring, of course, to Elias Brendel.
He's done really well here.
He has been locked in since surrendering the tying run in the 6th inning. He has been shut down, and Brookline needs him to be shut down again here in the bottom of the 9th.
He's been able to lock it down after giving up that blown save. Kind of interesting phenomenon that's happened with his season. Hopefully proves a good luck charm for Brookline.
And interesting note, you asked earlier what's the farthest into a game I've seen, and I just remembered that last year's season finale against Cambridge Ringe went deep into the game. That game went all the way to the 11th, and I think that's how far I've seen a high school game go without there being need for a delay.
Wow, 11th, that's something.
Now leading off here on the bottom of the 9th, the center fielder, number 4, Nuri Gutman. Gutman 2 for 2 with 2 singles and 2 walks. 1 run scored and 1 RBI as he drove in the tying run with an infield single his last time up against Brendel as he takes strike 1 there. That one's going to miss. Low and away, ball 1.
And Brendel working that down part of the plate. He's been getting ground balls and strikeouts ever since surrendering the run.
That one misses outside, ball 2.
And that low and outside kind of it's been effective for him.
2-1, the count to Gutman. That one gonna miss, ball 3.
That one just outside.
The outside of the plate has not been kind to Brendel this at bat. 3-1, the hitters count for Gutman.
Not at all, and it feels like umpire hasn't been calling a lot of stuff outside. Calls it there though.
Strike 2, and now a full count to Gutman. That one's going to miss, ball 4.
Oh, he misses. Gutman gets on.
And now the winning run is on the base paths for the Dragons. As now up comes the shortstop, number 1, Junior Calderon.
Junior Calderon, then Shapiro do up after him. It's really dangerous. Boston Latin, top of the order. Looking to end this one.
Calderon 0 for 3 so far today with a hit by pitch. Went down on strikes last time against Brendel. which left the bases loaded after Boston Latin tied the game. 0-1 now the count.
Here's the 0-1 pitch.
And that one's going to be high and in for ball one.
Brendo with that one upstairs. That's a big lead at first base.
Swing and a miss there, strike two. Melton briefly looked like he was going to throw down to first, but did not. And really, that's just the thing that base runners are going to do against a right-handed pitcher. You're not facing a quick and easy throw to first, so runners are going to take a noticeable lead. 1-2, the count to Calderon. Runners taking off.
He's going.
Swing and a miss, strike three. Throw down to second, not in time. The winning runner in scoring position now, but Brookline does get the first out of the inning. One out runner at second.
Well, he gets the strikeout. But Gottman taking that big lead, getting a really good jump against Elias Brendo. Now an intentional walk's coming.
An intentional walk issued to Jack Shapiro to create the force at the lead runner. Smart strategy as Shapiro, he won't matter if Gutman comes in. The extra runner won't matter. So now batting the pitcher, number 5, Theo Denner, and he lifts one out to left. Bollinger on his horse, chasing. That drops fair, and that is going to end the ball game. In comes Gutman, and the Boston Latin Academy Dragons win in walk-off fashion.
Everyone's
the final score, Boston Latin Academy 3, Brookline 2.
A smoker to left field. The whole Boston Latin team comes out to pile on each other. And what a game. And that one was on borderline home run territory. Hugh Bollinger sprinted back but just couldn't catch up to it. And what a game.
What a game, and what an ending. Not the ending Brookline was looking for. They fall to 9-3 on the season off the walk-off loss as Gutman comes in to score off the walk-off double from Theo Denner to end the game.
What a hit from Denner. He absolutely killed it. Elias Brendo.
Diener.
Well, Diener smokes it almost to the fence that you can see in left field. Bollinger couldn't catch up.
Yep.
And then from there, it actually took a minute for the runners to come around for Boston Latin. Bollinger had a chance to throw it back in, but
there wasn't much of a chance with how far out that was.
Just too much.
The runners were holding back in case they had to tag, in case the catch was made, but Gutman with his speed, there was no chance there.
Yeah.
So that is going to do it for us here at Garvey Park. Sam, thank you so much for joining me. I know this was a little chillier than you might have expected for your first baseball broadcast, but I hope you still had a fun time, and looking forward to having you for some more broadcasts this spring season.
Yep, for sure. Thanks for having me, Jesse. It was a good
course.
game.
All right, well, that is going to wrap this one up. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. The baseball team going to be back in action on Monday, but I will have a Brookline High boys lacrosse game at Cambridge. They're playing at Cambridge Ringe tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'll have that one covered. Be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to the channel can help. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today.
We had a lot of chatters.
We had a number of chatters today, but if there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, remember you can post it down in the comment section down below after the live stream is concluded. Also, be sure to go down below to the description section of the video where you can find some helpful links You can first find a link where you can donate to the At-Bat for Brookline Booster Club if you'd like to support the Brookline High baseball program financially. You can find a link, some links related to our local charity spotlight, Brookline Cares. Below that, you can find some links related to me, which you can also find in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com. You can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can just email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And remember to follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams and links for upcoming live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. The final score in 9 innings, the Boston Latin Academy Dragons 3, the Brookline Warriors 2. From Garvey Park in Dorchester, Massachusetts, for Sam Lowenstein, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.